G'day everybody, how's it going? Today we're going to be talking about the top 10 fish you can keep with platies. Now I've been keeping platies for many years and these are 10 fish that I've had lots of success keeping with platies. Now make sure that this list brings you all the principles you want in your aquarium, such as having handy fish that will bring activity in your aquarium, and fish that will make your aquarium pop out. So make sure you stick around to the end so you don't miss out on any important info, and also consider subscribing as I do weekly aquarium videos just like this. But with that all aside, let's get straight into the video. Now this first fish is to make your aquarium pop out, and it is the pearl gouramis. Now pearl gouramis are a beautiful fish and they've got stunning patterning and coloration on them. It's literally different from any other fish out there. And the reason they're called the pearl gouramis is, first of all, they're in the gourami family. So they're labyrinth breathing fish, meaning that you don't need much oxygen in the tank. If you have only pearl gouramis, then you don't actually need any aeration and stuff, because what they're going to do is go up to the surface of the aquarium and take a few gulps from just the air outside of the tank, and their organs turn that into oxygen. They've adapted to this because in the wild they do inhabit very slow moving waterways, although they do inhabit like pretty long and big waterways. So they do grow to about 10 to 15 centimeters. So I recommend, if you're getting one, that you have at least a 20 gallon. I have one in a 25 gallon and it's doing great. So if you do want to get a group, then I recommend you have a 30 gallon or larger. And I've had no problems with this mix of platies and pearl gouramis. Alright, so next up we have the neon or cardinal tetras. The reason I'm putting them both in the same one is because really they're pretty similar fish. Now, if you do want a detailed video on the differences between the two fish, then I'll leave a link in the description on the video I did so you guys can check it out. Neon and cardinal tetras really pop out in an aquarium. They're fish that both bring activity in your aquarium and also a fish that'll make your aquarium pop out. But I guess when you do have really shy fish, these tetras are a schooling fish, so they're going to act as dithers, which will help reduce the aggression or shyness out of other fish. So I guess they can also be helpful. You can also get the green neon tetras, but usually they'll have a neon blue stripe going across the body and some red. With the neon tetras, they have half the lower body red, but on cardinal tetras they'll have red going all across the body. So cardinal tetras do make the aquarium pop out more as they've got more color and brightness, except neon tetras still make an exceptional job at creating a centerpiece in your aquarium along with your platies. As long as you're keeping a school of 6 or more, you won't have any aggression out of the neon or cardinal tetras. Some people have recorded to have lots of aggressive neon tetras. That's pretty rare, and that's probably because they didn't have big groups. The bigger the school, the better for your neon or cardinal tetras. They definitely make number 2 on the list, and I've kept both of them in the past before successfully with platies. Alright, so this is going to be a bit of a weird fish, but number 3 we have the Corydoras Catfish. They are also very cute fish actually, and they're going to be a bit of a help to your aquarium because they'll scavenge for any leftover foods. They're not a vegetarian, so they're not going to be eating algae wafers and that sort of thing, and they don't eat your fish's poop or anything. What they do is they'll snivel their little whiskers into the substrate, trying to look for any live foods that are wriggling around in there, like detritus and stuff, so they'll eat that. Besides food, Corydoras are another schooling fish. They like to be in big groups, and the bigger the group the better. They're super popular, and you'll be able to find any type really in your area, at least one type, as there's a lot of different types out there. There's also lots of different strains and color variants, so you can find all sorts of different patternings on your Corydoras. There also can be a bit of a project to try breed, but they're fine with platies. In fact, they're one of the best fish to keep with platies because they're not going to interfere with each other. They're not going to cross over each other much at all. Corydoras will be hanging out always at the bottom, maybe occasionally near the top if they're gulping for air, and then platies will be in the middle to top range of the aquarium. Platies might go to the bottom for food, but other than that, not really going to bother each other at all, as they're both super peaceful. Corydoras are such a gentle fish. They are beautiful and they bring lots of activity into the aquarium. They're another schooling fish. If you're looking for some bottom dwelling action for your platy aquarium, I highly recommend the Corydoras. They're affordable, they're very cute, and they bring lots of activity to your aquarium. Alright, so here's a bit of a pretty cool little fish I've got for you. I don't think it makes any of the 3 main principles of these fish, but it's a golden wonder killifish. They can be a bit hard to find. Some areas they might be illegal. Apparently some killifish here in Victoria, Australia are illegal, but the golden wonder killifish aren't. I have one in my 20 gallon behind me. I used to have platies in this tank and I kept them fine with platies. So golden wonder killifish are a micro predator, so they're gonna love any live foods or bugs at the top. I don't feed them that personally, so they'll do fine with flakes and other prepared foods that stay afloat. They are a very feisty little fish that I really love. They're not going to bother your platies, but male golden wonder killifish can bother female golden wonder killifish. Quite often that's just mating and breeding, so that's fine. Golden wonder killifish are super easy to breed, so if you do want to make a cool little breeding project in your aquarium, some egg laying fish instead of live bearers, go with the golden wonder killifish. They're going to be lots of fun, and once they grow up, they're going to be really easy to see. At first you find them really small at your aquarium, but they can get up to 10 centimeters centimeters. So I recommend a 20-gallon or larger. Try to get a bigger group as possible. They like to be in like groups of 4. Although I have just 1 in my aquarium. Used to have 2 a pair, but they'll do fine really. They're not fussy fish at all, and as long as you feed them stuff that's going to be floating atop, then you'll have very happy golden wonder killifish, and they are just a really cool fish. Okay, so another bottom dwelling fish for today, we have the Bristlenose Catfish. Now, Bristlenose Catfish make it on pretty much everyone's list. The reason being is that Bristlenose plecos are not going to be aggressive in any way, although they can be picked on by a lot of other fish. Platies are super peaceful, so they're not going to bother the Bristlenose. They make a great duo together. Now, the Bristlenose are going to act as a cleanup crew. They're not going to do your maintenance for you. Still going to need to scrub your glass and do your water changes and clean your substrates, just that they're going to get some of that slimy algae off the glass. They're not going to get all of it. They're only going to get a bit. And then you want to feed them like canned green beans or boiled cucumber or zucchini. They will suck on that and they'll love it. Other than that, Bristlenose catfish are super cool. There's different types you can get. I currently keep the common Bristlenose and the lemon blue-eyed. I much prefer the lemon blue-eyes as they're super exotic and cool looking, and if you just want to have a bit of a help with maintaining that algae on the glass and smooth objects in your tank, I'd go with the Bristlenose catfish. Super popular fish, easy to find, and they make it on my top 10 list. Alright, don't sue me for this, but the next fish we got on the list is other Livebearers. This is just one of the fish on the list that I just wanted to put on because other Livebearers means basically just mollies, guppies, and swordtails. Those 3 fish make a great addition to your Platy aquarium. You can basically make like your 50-gallon aquarium into a Livebearer only aquarium. You have all 4 different types of Livebearers and they're going to do really well. The only thing though is that you can tend to crossbreed and that might not do very well. Genetics and all won't probably work, but I mean, I've crossbred Livebearers before, like Platies and swordtails, and it's fine. I mean, it's up to you what you want to do. Platies and just other Livebearers, if you just have like one gender only, it can be super cool. Other Livebearers have very similar requirements to the Platies, so you don't need to worry too much. Your Platy aquarium should be very similar conditions as the other Livebearers would need too. Also, swordtails and mollies can tend to look a lot like Platies too, so it just looks really cool, brings more activity, and fills out the tank with more color. Okay, now this fish I haven't kept before, but literally whenever someone's kept Platies with this fish, they've always had success. So it's the Harlequin Rasboras. Now, Harlequin Rasboras are another super peaceful schooling aquarium fish, kind of like Tetras, but they're in a different family and they have a different body shape. But Harlequin Rasboras look really cool, but I have no idea why they're called Harlequin Rasboras. Harlequin Rasboras are another super popular aquarium fish. Super easy and bulletproof and great for beginners. I can't tell you how good they are, and I hope to get them in the future because they may look not too colorful, but once they get used to their environment in your aquarium, then they're going to pop out and their orangeness can really brighten up over the next few weeks once you get them. I mean, I'd go with the Harlequin Rasboras if they catch your eye, but if they don't, that's fine. There's lots of other fish to choose from, but if you do get the Harlequin Rasboras, I recommend a nice large tank of about 30 gallons or larger. Get a group of 10 or more. Now, you could get away with a 20 gallon and a group of 6. If you want to have lots of success and very bright colored Harlequin Rasboras, then they do a lot better in a large aquarium with a large group. Okay, so I don't keep this fish at the moment, but I've just recently kept them. But next up we have the Dwarf Neon Rainbowfish. They're also known as the Pracox Rainbowfish. They're a bit of a newer fish into the aquarium hobby, so they can tend to be more of an intermediate fish. So if you're a beginner and you're just looking for something really easy to keep that's going to sustain themselves in your aquarium, I don't recommend this fish. Dwarf Neon Rainbowfish can be a bit fussy and they can be a bit finicky because they do tend to be prone to a lot of diseases, but that's just because they're a bit of a wild fish at the moment. They're only really seen in Australia and they can be a bit expensive. So yeah, basically a dwarf rainbow fish, they only get about 8 centimeters, no larger, and I've kept fully grown ones before. They're only really that big. They love larger aquariums. I did keep a pair in this aquarium here. They just won't breed in a 20 gallon, but if you keep them in a really long aquarium like 50 gallons or larger, they're gonna breed like crazy. But once you can get the care right with these fish, you're gonna have the greatest time keeping them, and they have superb personalities. So I highly recommend the Dwarf Neon Rainbow fish as they make number 8 on the list. So you want non-stop activity at the surface of your aquarium? Well, at number 9 we have the Zebra Danios. Zebra Danios are another super popular aquarium fish. You'll be able to find them at your big box stores too. They've got this blue striping going across the body. You can also get gold variants where instead of blue stripes they have gold stripes, but I honestly love the long fin versions and they bring so much activity into the aquarium. Zebra Danios are going to be moving non-stop as long as you have a nice big group. They're going to be chasing each other around the aquarium and they're just crazy fish. Zebra Danios are super easy to care for. They can survive a wide range of water parameters. They're really entertaining to watch when they're eating. Platies and Zebra Danios are such a good duo because Platies aren't going to be outcompeted for the food and the Zebra Danios aren't going to bother the Platies as long as you have a group of 5 or more. But if you have like 1 or 2 in your aquarium, they're going to start start chasing any other fish in the aquarium, that could stress out the platies. It can be a bit of a hazardous fish, but as long as you have the room and you have a nice big group, your zebra Danios will be super peaceful and will make their way getting along with your platies. Okay, so last but certainly not least, on our list we have the Emperor Tetras. Emperor Tetras are honestly a super cool aquarium fish. Now they've got a weird way of swimming. They kind of swim on an angle and their fins will move weirdly compared to other Tetras. Now they are another schooling fish, loving to be in groups of 10 or more actually. You'll need a nice big aquarium. Try to get a nice big aquarium with your platies. It's just going to create a great duo. You can get purple Emperor Tetras, blue Emperor Tetras, and the black Emperor Tetras. They're also known as Keri Tetras and Royal Tetras. I reckon if you get a mix of 5 blue Emperor Tetras and 5 black Emperor Tetras, that'll look super cool. And they just bring a lot more activity to your aquarium, as they are another schooling fish that are pretty active and they pop out in an aquarium so much. Give them a try, give them a shot if they fancy you, but they make it on my list because I love them so much, and I've also successfully kept them with platies before. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. There you have 10 tank mates for platies. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below. Subscribe for more and also give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. But have a great day and I'll see you all in the next video.